Hello everyone, Ron here from RJJ's Reactions, and I'm back with 9 Inch Nails and the next track on the Fragile album called The Frail. All right, I went to look for lyrics for this song, found out it was an instrumental. At least that's what I think it said. So we'll see. I don't think there's any lyrics. I think it's an instrumental, and I'm wondering if it's sort of a transitional song between songs, because I know other bands have done that. Uh, they sort of have a short, and this is short, 1 minute 54 seconds, almost 2 minutes, but relatively short instrumental. And I'm thinking maybe it's transitioning us between The Day the World Went Away and the next one is The Wretched, which I haven't recorded yet, but I did do The Day the World Went Away, of course. I'll put a link in the description to my playlist for 9 Inch Nails. We're going through the album right now, but I have done some other 9 Inch Nails songs, so you might want to check out the playlist. Also in the description, I'll put a link to their channel so they can go there and subscribe and like and comment and support the artist. Definitely want to do that. Also in the description, there's a way to bump up your requests. No need to request songs from this album because I'm going through it anyway. But if you want other artists, I'll add it to the regular list, but it's really long. If you want it quick, bump it up. 3 ways to donate to the channel. You could just donate to the channel if you appreciate what I'm doing on this album or other reactions that I've done. But you can also use that method to bump up your request and get it within days rather than months. Also, don't forget to subscribe here if you already have. Thank you very much. I do appreciate it. All right, let's get back into this album, The Frail, 9 Inch Nails. Mm. Now I'm going to start back over. I love that sort of slow walk with the piano, and if it's done right, every single note of the piano can reach you, can touch you. Wow. Whew. Haunting. That's a haunting sound. Yeah, I thought maybe there'd be a switch up in there, but really it kind of carried on. I really do think this is probably a transition between the songs to sort of get you ready. And I know that I mentioned some of 9 Inch Nails songs have fairly long instrumental intros, building the suspense and getting you sort of well, either ready or you get your heart pounding, and then Trent's vocals come in, and then sometimes really powerful music too. This was calmer throughout, but you had that sort of um, I don't want to say plodding because that sounds like a negative, but I don't mean it in a negative way. But that piano that just sort of walked you through this instrumental, and then there was some background sound as well, which I'm not sure was creating that, but uh, it was a beautiful sort of atmospheric piece, which I think is probably taking you from the day the world went away into the wretched, which is the next one that comes up. So I was sort of thinking at the beginning here because I was smiling because I always smile. Well, frankly, I smile at everything. I smiled and laughed when I got struck by a car and was lying on the road bleeding, and I was laughing and joking with the people who stopped, fortunately, to help me out, and they thought I'd banged my head a little too hard. No, no, this is my normal insanity. Don't worry. And I was fine-ish, but I was thinking maybe I'm smiling too much for Nine Inch Nails. I've had people on other videos, not Nine Inch Nails, I don't think, but some other videos that were very serious. I think maybe some 21 Pilots that say, you know, too happy. Um, but don't be afraid. I was suicidal. I made some attempts and hospitalized, and I can go still into mad depression and anxiety and whatnot. But that's that facade that you put on. I talked about that in the last song I did, when he talked a little bit about that in those very short lyrics. But, that face that you put on. So just don't ever think that because someone's smiling, that means they're happy. It might, and sometimes I am. And generally speaking, I try to be a happy person. But that does not mean that you don't have thought and you don't have feeling and you don't have depth. But mostly when I'm listening to music, whether it's really sad music or really happy music or somewhere in between, it's the beauty of the instrumentation or vocals. There are no vocals in this one, but that's what I'm smiling about, the talent, the absolute amazing talent, or the understanding. I'm smiling because I get you. I get what you're saying. So that's my sort of long semi-apology for smiling. Just in case, I'm sort of preempting any complaints about that as we go through the Nine Inch Nails songs. It's just that I really do think they're very, very talented, and I happen to know that Trent is still around, at least at the point of this recording, and has been making music for decades. So fortunately, he got through the troubles and difficulties that he was having. Well, I shouldn't say got through. I don't know if you ever get through. You still deal with them all the time. People say you're so lucky to have got through that and dealt with that from when I was, 15 or 17 or whatever. Um, well, yeah, but it's still there. You just learn coping mechanisms. You learn ways, and I think of Robin Williams, a person who made everyone laugh, and yet made it for decades as well, but that's no guarantee that you will continue on forever. Well, nobody continues on forever, but you know what I mean. Anyway, enough babbling from me, especially on a relatively short instrumental, but I thought this was really quite good in the album. Um, but even just to, again, sit back, close your eyes, and you notice I close my eyes a lot. The reason I do that is because with all music, you hear it differently with your eyes closed, but particularly instrumental type music or orchestra type music, or even some of the industrial type music that I talked about before, the instrumental parts at least. I don't know, it's just totally different when you close your eyes. It just seems bigger and you seem to be able to walk right into it. So sometimes that's why I do that. Plus, there really isn't too much to look at here anyways. If I were seeing them live, I would be watching them, of course, more often. All right. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Also, check in the description for a link to Nine Inch Nails channel so you can go there and subscribe and like and support the artists. Want to do that. Also, for a way to bump up your requests if you want to do that. Don't forget to subscribe here if you don't mind. Thank you so much to everyone who has subscribed and shared videos, etc. Keep those comments, information coming. I read everything you send. I appreciate all of it, and I answer as much of it as I possibly can too. Also, let me know what you think of this instrumental, the Frail. Excuse me, that one snuck up on me. I usually mute before I cough. But do you feel frail? Have you felt frail? Certainly. Um, I think there's a misconception that sometimes when you feel frail, you're weak, but I'm not so sure that's true. I think there's a great power sometimes in going through these things. But anyway, All right, I'm going to shut up now. It's Ron from RJJ's Reactions. Keep listening, keep having fun. Bye bye for now.